Thanks, Gaurav, for the opportunity. I'll be speaking on video recording and vitrectomy surgery, no financial interests. So, as Dr. Yogesh Shah mentioned, creating quality surgical videos involves more than just recording a surgical case. It involves the capturing of the highest quality of video and adding finishing touches such as adding narration, music, etc. So these are things that you have to keep in mind. So, like was mentioned in the previous speech very nicely, the first and the most important thing that you need to have is a proper microscope. And the microscope in vitrectomy surgery needs to have two things to it. One is you need to have an attachment that allows you to have the camera, and the other is the attachment that allows an observer scope, because in vitrectomy surgery this guy is of paramount importance, because he is the guy who's going to tell you whether the image is focused on the screen or not, whether it's a sharp image or not, and this is the important guy. So he needs to have properly, he needs to see things properly. So he needs to have a binocular observer scope, and which is nicely adjustable with the nice arms, and so that whatever his size, he can really be comfortable with it. Now, I'll not speak in details regarding this. Dr. Gaurav will be speaking. You can have different types of cameras, but one thing that I'll speak about in the end is what we've been recently using for almost a year now. This is something called the OIC camera. This is a Korean camera, very inexpensive. We'll talk about it in some detail. The next important thing that you need to really know when you are doing a vitrectomy surgery is what is the visualization system you are going to use. So if you are using a lender's light source, you could have get away with any kind of lender's system. You could get away with any kind of light source. It could be a halogen based light source also. That would be good enough, because only a small part of the retina is illuminated and seen, and so you can get away with very poor light. But if you are doing wide angle, if you have a wide angle system, then hardly you can see anything with this halogen light source. So you need to have a xenon light source which can do justice to your recording. Now there are different types of illuminators that are available. You could be using an endo illuminator, which could be a 0-degree endo illuminator, or a bullet pipe, or you could be using a chandelier. Gone are the days when chandelier insertion was a hassle, but today these are basically plug and play types, where you sort of use the trocar cannula based systems and plug it in, and you have a fair view of the retina where you can do your surgery comfortably. You can use these 0-degree endo illuminators, but they provide you with a very limited area of visualization, wherein you can see this here. Of course, you can use bullet light pipes, which affords a better view, or you could use, like I've mentioned, chandelier illumination, which helps you. You could also use, for specific purposes, you could also use an endo illuminator here instead of doing bimanual surgery. So that could also be helpful. Now, coming to the viewing system, probably some of us started off with macular irrigating lenses, moved on to the lender system, but these have the inherent problem of having a very small field of view. So recording wise, the rest of the audience would be left guessing what's happening to the other part of the retina. So herein comes the biome and the wide angle contact lens systems, which are probably the most widely used. And of course, you have other systems also, office and reside fundus viewing systems. I'll briefly touch upon them. So this is what happens, like I showed with the lenders based system. You can see this HST is covering up on maybe 20% of the view, and the rest of the retina is left unseen almost, unless you really move around. And once you've done a fluid-based exchange, you had it, you hardly can see anything. So comes in the biome, and with the biome you can do justice to your talent, and you can one very important thing about the biome is it's not observer dependent. Like what I use is very observer dependent, wide angle contact lens based system. The biome is not you have to depend less on your assistant to hold the lens, so to say. So this is a big advantage with the biome. The reside system, it's patented by Zeiss, and it is pretty similar to the biome. This is the view that you get with reside. It's a fair view. Let's look at what the wide angle system offers. This is a very good crisp view of the retina that you get with this wide-angle contact lens-based system. Like I mentioned, this is the disadvantage. You of course have self-stabilizing lenses, but over time I've found that the self-stabilizing lenses don't give you as good a crisp view or a controlled view, especially when you are working in the periphery. So that way it is nice to have a good assistant who can hold your lens for you. Let's talk about this system. Are there microscopes that allow you to see the fundus directly? Well, yes, the office system allows you that. And here you don't need an endo-illuminator to see the retina. The microscope light itself allows you to see the retina, and you can do bimanual surgery without the help of a chandelier also. Another piece of little innovation or a little add-on, may I say, this office system has is a slit lamp sort of attachment types. You can visualize a small area of the retina, and you can work better if you are doing some particular area of, you look into some particular area of the retina. Now video overlay helps you tell your audience what is the cut rate, what is the vacuum that you're using, or infusion pressure, whether it is high or low. And so this is something that lets you discuss about certain or show about certain nuances of vitreoretinal surgeries that might otherwise be left unnoticed by the audience. Moving on to recording, Dr. Gaurav will be mentioning about the recording. You can use various forms of recording, but I'll be slightly speaking on this. This is what we've been using for the last 9-10 months. This is something called Evermedia Game Capture HD2, and this is easily available on Snapdeal and Flipkart, and costs around, when we bought it 8-9 months back, it was 10,800 rupees, so it's pretty inexpensive. What are the advantages? Well, this is the other little bits and pieces of equipment that it comes with, the cable, etc., HDMI cable and the power adapter and all that. Let's look here. You can walk into your OT with your pen drive, maybe a 32 GB pen drive minimum for vitreoretinal surgery, and do your surgeries and walk away with your pen drive once again. Look here, you can actually record, you can record your voice while you are actually doing the surgery. So that cuts away your time of subsequent editing. So if you already have a commentary, if you can practice that, and it really helps. And of course, this is HDMI input that's coming in. You can take out an HDMI output and plug it onto your TV, and that's very nice, and it's very easy. If you see this this piece of remote actually lets you do a little bit of cropping and cutting, and what happens is subsequently you have lesser time to spend on the video editing part of it. Now this OIC camera, this is OIC Corporation Korea, and this OIC camera is what we've been using for last almost a year in many of our centers in Disha. And see this camera, this is very inexpensive, it is full HD. I'll give you the specification shortly. It has iris adjustment, it has a HDMI output, SDI output, and it is very small and fits in snugly and nicely onto your mount, and this gives you a fair quality of image. These are the specifications, and this product that I showed is also pretty inexpensive. We bought it for 27,500 or so for a piece, and we've been using it, and it's fairly good. No breakdown so far. I guess we have so far around 8 cameras in different OTs, and no breakdown so far. Available on the net again, OIC Korea. Now. This is again something that Dr. Gaurav will be telling, but I think I'll just chip in with one or two things. You need to have a video converting software, because this is something that you will often need. You have to sort of convert from one form of video to another, and some of these are easily available as free softwares. In fact, both for Windows and Mac-based systems. I on my Mac use something called the C-Lite, which is absolutely free to use, and it does a fair job, and you can convert it to any form, including WMV, from a Mac on a Mac. So that's I guess is pretty nice. Now, if you're using a Windows-based system, then this Windows Movie Maker actually is very simple to use, and actually it has a tutorial, and you can just watch it, and you can clip your videos, you can import your videos and just drag them, cut them, chop them, and it's very, very simple. I mean, like once you get a couple of dummy runs, and you can do it very easily. Now, I was previously using the Windows system, so I thought this would be something difficult, but I found this is easier with the iMovie, and it's pretty similar to the Windows Movie Maker, and you import your videos, and you can add transitions, you can add music, you can add your voice. So this is also very simple. This is something that I think all of us will be able to do. You don't need to really have to call in for very small projects. You don't have to really call in a proper video person to sort of edit your videos. So to summarize, you capture your video, transfer your video, and convert the video into a usable form. You have to edit the video and add voice and music, and then you're ready for submission. Dr. Gaurav will be speaking in details on this. So let's talk about this camera, and I would like to show you what is the actual quality, unedited, absolutely unedited, and you can do your adjustments, white balance adjustments. This is what the anterior segment would look like. This is subluxated IO that's been done, and when you move on to the posterior segment, so this is the contact lens that we are using, and this is what comes on. I mean, like you have a fair view of the fundus, the vitreous you can visualize, and once it is nicely focused and zoomed, I think you get a fair view of the retina. It's pretty good. So I'd like to thank you for your kind attention.